And hello everybody, this is Gamer with Opinion, back with another video. It's been a long time since I did one, and the reason is, like a stupid ass, I bought a bakery. And well, that's consuming most of my time. It's a hard business, but it's going pretty well. So, that being said, today we're going to present Rome Expanded by JaceX. I've been waiting for a few months to present this mod, as it had a few issues. Basically, when it first came out, there was a save corruption issue that was really major, and the what happened is that the play experience was enjoyable, but you couldn't go through really the game because your save would get corrupted in a few turns. So sadly, that was a drawback, and I didn't want to make a video about it, not to ruin the mod, because it has very high potential. This mod is available on the Steam shop, and it has a lot of reviews. So far, this is the mod where it's getting the most reviewed on the one I'm following on the Steam Workshop. The community is very happy about this mod. So without further ado, let's present it. So Rome Expanded takes advantage of the new of the new things you could do for modding in the Rome Remastered software, and the first thing it did is expand the roster heavily, and I mean heavily. And it is kind of heavenly, and it has drawbacks at the same time. I don't know how to cover this, so I'll start with a few things basically on the faction, a few things to notice. The three Roman families has been kept, names have been changed. It makes more sense the way he divided it, although we could argue for the names. So he made the Fabii, he made the Valerii, and the Roman Clodi family. Roman Clodi family would be actually the Julio Claudians, I guess. That's the only logical way to treat it. Roman are not overpowered in this mod. It's an interesting game to play. You do have enough to get through, but you're getting early opposition from your two ancestral enemies, meaning the Etruscans and the Samnites, which is very nice inclusion, by the way. Okay, a few other things I'll point after. Just so we concentrate on this section of the mod, there is pros and cons of expanding a roster that much. The most common drawback is that the game balance usually goes through the window when you expand the roster, because the AI cannot really compensate for the apparition of new factions, and the factions don't necessarily have a way of dealing with the invasions or dealing with just the economic stress that neighbors are putting on them. So usually it's kind of a iffy things. It's an iffy thing to balance. You need to do some test to see, to make sure that you're not getting your map debalance. Here, well, you do get that problem, yes, but it's not as intense as some other work I've covered and seen. So on the aspect of the game balance, it's not too bad. It does generate really interesting campaigns, and that's all we're looking for. Now, roasters. We're gonna go into the roasters. I'll take you first to the Romans, just to show you what the Romans look like. Like I said, they're not overpowered, but they do have enough. It's Rome after all. My computer is a bit slow loading this because basically I'm using a latest Windows version, and it's crap. So here we are. As you see, the Senate mission has been kept, but names have been changed. So, if we look at what the old Julia has as starting units, you can see, of course, a little town watch here, and we're producing only town watch and peasants there. So not that much. Our really real troops are here. So not much in the town, of course, but at least here we can produce cavalry and war hounds. We don't have that much army to start with. We've got a leader here, Queen Fabius, and we've got Gaius here. And we also have the Armenian town's army. So basically here we're getting a bit of a break because we've got Prankipis and Astadi plus a lonesome unit of Velites. So that gives you a strike source to start the game. But as you can see, or maybe you can't. Well, yeah, you can. So here we've got the neutral town of Messe. This is Etruscans. And Etruscans also have a city here, Halalia, which is an interesting proposition. It's not historical, but it's a very interesting proposition to put them there. If you are in the Jews fighting the Romans with the Etruscan, there's always the plan of getting your army out, so migrating to the island and starting waging a kind of a pirate war against Rome. So, of course, you can see Rome, the Senate, has all these goodies as usual. And we can see that we've got the Samnites undermining the Roman effort on the other side of the starting map for the Romans. So all in all, this is a very nice area of the map to be playing with. I've played with all 6 factions, so the 3 Romans, 5 factions. The 3 Romans, the Etruscans, and the Samnite to playtest it. I actually won a game with the Etruscan. It was hard. It was way easier with the Samnites. Actually, I can crush the Roman pretty easily with the Samnites, which is kind of surprising. But this part of the map, very enjoyable to play. So we're gonna get out of there. By the way, since I haven't done videos for a few months, I was able to test this little baby extensively. What I mean by extensively, I've played about 300 hours in it. So I think I kind of got pretty much all the experience you can get from this mod at this point. I'm expecting this mod to continue evolving. So now what I want to show you is the Egyptians. The Egyptians don't suck in that game. First, we are not stuck with Bronze Age Egyptians. The troops are way more Hellenized, and that represents what it's supposed to be. There might be chariots. I haven't seen any, but there might be. I haven't played Egypt honestly. But I haven't seen chariots when I was looking around the map. But as you can see, we've got an interesting roster. First, you start with elephants. You've got hoplites. Well, actually, phalanx pikemen, but same diff, right? And you can recruit mercenary hoplites. That's a nice touch, and it's quite historical. You also have access to the Machinoi. Plus, you've got the slingers and skirmishers, so that's a very well represented Egypt we've got here. And Egypt, well, it has of course a large territory, but as you can see, some civil unrest. Your position is not that easy to defend or deal with. You're gonna have lots of opposition. It's gonna cost you a lot. Your starting economy is good, but might suffer pretty fast. So, so like I said, I'm not going to go in depth, but as you can see, this is not weak. This is not a weak position. You've got troops, right? You've got boats, you've got troops, but you got a large territory to cover. And factions like these are pretty funny. I've tried playing a Jewish campaign. It was hard as heck, but it was very fun. So the Egyptians here are being treated as a nice faction. It's very nice. It plays really nice. It has nice starting territory. So I'm gonna bring you next to one of the lesser factions, Tylis, it's not that Rebeni, Brucey. I'm not looking for those, I'm looking for the Greek ones. Bithynia, Demoni, Mercomani, Azteki, Luigi. I'm looking for something like Italian League or here, Bithynia will do. So here we have the mythical kingdom of Bithynia. Bithynia or Pons, Pons Bithynia, as it was known for a while, was a kingdom that was crucial in that part of the world. Julius Caesar, when he was young, was sent to Bithynia during his exile, basically when he was captured by a pirate crew and ransom. Very funny story, I'm not going to get into it. But Caesar had been sent to the Bithynia kingdom to meet Nicomedes, the king. Nicomedes likes young boys, and well, so Caesar was supposed to secure the fleet of Bithynia for helping Rome with the war. He spent a few weeks with the king and went away with the fleet and was later known as the Queen of Bithynia. So even when Julius Caesar held his triumph in Rome, his troops were singing a song that was going like Caesar conquered the Gauls, but Nicomedes conquered Caesar, and that kind of thing. Uh, to be noted, during a triumph, it was customary for the soldiers to actually sing deprecating things about their leader. It was all in a let's say in a logic of the guy must not become a megalomaniac because of his triumphs. That's the idea. So there were two things. The soldier were depreciating their leader, and also on the chariot behind the leader, you had somebody who was holding the laurel crown at this point. Could have been another symbol. Usually it was the laurel crown. And he would speak in the ear of the leader and say, "Remember, you are mortal. Remember, you are mortal. Remember, you are mortal." All the while that the triumph was being held. So like I said, it was like a warning: you are not a king. You must not be a king. Roman kings, well, you know. Anyways, so Bithynia and that part of the world really nicely done again. You've got the Pontic light cavalry and heavy cavalry, some eastern infantry, but this is the most interesting area of the map to play in. If you're going for any Greek faction or the Seleucids, or even I mean Illyrians, whatever, very enjoyable. This place is a keg, a powder keg, politically speaking, military speaking. So it's really fun. The only drawback is that if you don't like to play phalanxes, well, that's not going to be fun for you. Anyways, so that is what I wanted to show you here. We're gonna exit one more time, gonna show one more faction, and we're gonna go for the standard Greeks this time. To be noted that Sparta is available as a faction here, and it does balance between the Macedonian and the Greeks pretty well. So this is actually a very nice game balance trick that worked in that area. But like I said, it's not really easy to balance the map when you're including. Should I go to standard? Oh, there, Italian League. One of the most interesting campaigns I've tested. It gave me enough fight back to be interesting while not being too oppressing. So I didn't have to like wreck my brain winning the game, but I had to think enough to actually enjoy winning the game. So the Italian League, like you will see, it's kind of a hard proposition again. This is, of course, your neutral town. And there we go. We've got allies. Guess who? And here we are. So basically, we're a phalanx-based unit. Well, civilization anyways, but we train only the basic ones. We are stuck in the Greek peninsula, and that's a nightmare. This place is a real nightmare. Yeah, we're allied with Macedonia. That won't last. We have to expand somewhere. We can't go and expanding into Sparta. We can't go and start a war with Macedonia right away. We can't. We can't just afford it. Usually the idea is try to get alliance with the Greek, go to war with Macedonia once the Greeks get into war with it, and basically try to. Personally, what I did was work my way south and get Sparta, remove Sparta, and remove some Macedonian while the Greek was fighting here, but not making any real progress. Very enjoyable nonetheless. So that's about all I wanted to show you for the factions. Now, a few closing arguments. JaceX works other mods, like right now he's making one for Three Kingdom. He has a Discord server. The Discord server is pretty lively. The crowd there is pretty fun. Yeah, I am boosting this guy a lot. No, I don't have a paid sponsorship or even a sponsorship, or I don't even know the guy, to be honest. I just appreciate his work a lot. He put lots of effort into this. He was answering people every time they were asking something when his mod was not working well. He cares about the quality of his mod and everything, so this guy should be supported by you guys, the community, by trying his mod, leaving comments on his Steam page as to what you like, what you don't like. Join his Discord, make propositions if you have any that are good. This is how the Rome Remastered scenes will evolve. If the modders are kept in close environment, with their crowds, like you have this fan club of this mod and then this fan club of this mod, and this mod is the greatest and you should not play any other, then we're stagnating, we're not progressing, because nobody is really trying new ideas, and people who do have solutions to problems that others are encountering are not speaking. I'm not saying that's the state of the modding scene in Rome Total War right now. What I'm saying is that after a couple of years of looking at the scene, I can see that some people are playing for keeps, and some people I just would like to address a little thing here. Having DMs with different modders, I've noticed that some modders are actually into the mindset that they're going to make money out of this, or they should make money, or people should pay them. Guys, you're using the work of a company that's millions of dollars of investment. You're riding on it. So honestly, when you think that you deserve to have like recognition of this and that, it's kind of a bloated ego proposition, guys. Really? I mean, really. just enjoy the fun. Just do the mods for the fun. That's what they're meant to be. It's meant to be an experience, improving everything that can be improved in this game and keeping this wonderful game alive. I mean, in the last 20 years, I haven't seen much war game strategy that were holding. I am quite pissed at Feral because they're wrecking the Total War franchise, honestly. I honestly hope that they will come to their senses eventually and make another Total War title and go back to what made them great, because things like Warhammer are destroying this franchise, and every other product is under supported right now, so they suffer from it. That being said, that was my little rant. Time for grading this mod. This is, according to me, a 8.5, very close to a 9. It's enjoyable. Graphic is good. There, you could improve the map. You could improve the commercial relations. You could improve the AI. Although I've tested this with the mod Better Battles AI, worked really well. So if you want to increase the difficulty, you can go and try that out. Um, but yeah, so the only points where I'm not giving this a 9 or a 10 are basically the AI is still a bit weak. Pathfinding still have the usual issues that you have with the map itself. Could be improved. It's a nice map, but it could be improved, especially on the resources level, and the economy level should be really overhauled, because that's as many mud in the well, sorry about that. In mini mods, you have the problem of economies. Basically, either you can't make an economy, or you just have too easy a time of making one and then just overpowering the game, steamrolling the game, because you have such money that you can do pretty much whatever you want, buying settlements and so on and so forth. So that's the only reason I'm not giving a 9 10, but this is a very solid 8.5. Thank you, JaceX, for this wonderful mod. And for my viewers, well, there's a lot of you that are not subscribed, so please do all the good stuff, like, share, comment, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you very much for watching. This was GW Ho.